good morning. Pardon the technical difficulties. Well, listen, happy Sunday to all. As the weekend winds down, I hope everybody had a good weekend and has enjoyed the weekend and has had a blessed weekend and a safe weekend. Remember, you can follow me on YouTube. Just search Troy Ramel Royal. You'll see all my videos there. You can follow me there so that this way, as soon as I post, you get notified. I would appreciate that. In the meantime, let's get right to it. A lot of sports to talk about. Some good things and some disappointing things. But we're going to start with the NCAA. Finally, after the first 2 days of a snooze fest with only upsets with maybe the 11-6 seed or the 12-5 seed game, we finally have a bracket buster. I know my bracket is busted. I had Villanova going to the finals, to the championship game to lose to UCLA. They get knocked off by Wisconsin. First upset of the tournament. First bracket buster. Wow, that was big. I was sending text back and forth to a good buddy of mine, Jay Black, and he called it. He said Wisconsin will beat Villanova. Villanova will be the first number 1 seed to get knocked off. He called it moments before the game tipped off, and I was like, nah, they're going far. Villanova has been maybe the best school all year. They really have been. This here is a shocker to me that they will not advance to at least the Sweet 16. I had them going to the championship game. I just thought that from top to bottom and start to finish and from the season to now, they have been the best team all year, hovering around the top 5 all year long. This is really probably a bracket buster for many people. I'm sure 90% of people had Villanova in their Final Four. But yeah, what a game by Wisconsin. One thing about this Wisconsin team in the last several years, they have been a Final Four team a couple of times. They've been a good team. They just can't get over the hump. But maybe this is their year. We'll see. It only gets tougher from here, but definitely a good win for the school. And I guess Villanova is going to have to regroup because I do believe they have some seniors on the team, so they're going to have to regroup. But good win. Can't say enough about that Wisconsin. They're a resilient bunch. They lose a couple of people here and there, going to the NBA or just getting drafted. Nigel Hayes, a senior player there, he's probably going to get drafted in the second round. He's been there with the Frank Kaminsky's and so forth. So look for Wisconsin maybe to keep advancing. I would not be surprised. I have to change my thoughts on them right now. I'll tell you that. I do have to change my thoughts. Keeping it right along, the only other upset, my Florida State got upset, the number 3 Florida State. I was rooting for them because I was following Dwayne Bacon. I think that's the guy that the Knicks should be targeting if they get that 7 through 10 pick in the draft. But they took a fall to what possibly might be the Cinderella team of the tournament, number 11 Xavier. They continue. They knocked off the number 6 team, and now they knocked off the number 3 team. I'm not sure who's on Xavier, so I can speak of. But again, it's always that one Cinderella team. This may be the Cinderella team. It just may be. They're heading to the Sweet 16. Anything's possible in a one-game elimination. And that's the beauty of the NCAA, simply because of the one-game elimination. But moving right along in the NCAA, Arizona moves on. West Virginia moves on. Butler holds off Middle Tennessee. A lot of people thought that Middle Tennessee will be a Cinderella team, but they got knocked off by Butler. Gonzaga, they beat Northwestern in what appeared to be a controversy game. I'm not sure exactly what took place. I didn't get a chance to see any of the highlights. I just happened to hear it over the radio. That was very controversial. So we'll see what happens going forward. But yeah, so Gonzaga, they beat Northwestern. Butler hold off Middle Tennessee. But now we got some games today. And I'm going to tell you something. 7 of these 8 games may be must-see TV. I know Duke is going to come in as the perennial favorite, but they better not take the South Carolina lightly. Not with Thornwell over there getting 29 and 14. They better not. I like Jason Tatum a lot, and I even like Kennard as well. But they better not take this team lightly. Thornwell could be a beast over there. South Carolina has been playing ball all year long. The SEC is normally just noted for Kentucky and Florida, but this time around you got Arkansas in the mix. You got South Carolina in the mix. I would not take them lightly, and I tell you, I would not take them lightly at all. Someone told me watch out for Rhode Island. I don't think this is going to be a snooze fest for Oregon. I really don't think this will be a snooze fest. This is my guy Jay Black now. He's already texting me. Let me tell you what he's texting me, because he called that Wisconsin game. He really did. He called that Wisconsin game. I didn't think so. He likes Kansas, Duke, and Kentucky to go on today. And he talked about a good fight last night. I'll get into that boxing because I thought it was pretty good. But right now, he likes Kansas, Duke, and Kentucky. I can kind of go with that. But I'm going to tell you, they're all going to have their hands full today. UCLA and Cincinnati should be a very good game. Question is, how healthy will Ball be? But I tell you, I watched that UCLA game the other night. His presence on the court makes it different. But it ain't all just Ball. It really ain't. They got a nice little crew there. They start 5. They got Holiday coming off the bench. Now, they got a nice little crew there. I like UCLA to win it all, to be honest with you. North Carolina, another perennial favorite, going up against the SEC foe, just like Duke. Arkansas, they come out of nowhere this year. Listen, sometimes when you don't play teams in over 10, 15 years, you don't know enough about them, and tape don't tell, video don't tell it all. This one could be a tough game for North Carolina. It really can. North Carolina should win, but it could be a tough game for them. Then you have Kansas and Michigan State. Kansas is clearly the superior team. But Tom Izzo, he's good for a run every 4 years. Don't think this is going to be a walk in the park for Kansas. I think Kansas is victorious. But again, Michigan State and Tom Izzo, he has a plan there. Every 4 years, every 3 to 4 years, they make a run in this tournament. He's a great coach. He gets his players to stay there. He gets the most out of them. I would not take this game lightly if I'm Kansas. Tom Izzo has been known to do the unthinkable. So you got 8 games on tonight. Should be great activity, great competitiveness. It should be fun to watch. I'm going to be at work. I'll probably get updates throughout the day on my phone. But enjoy what you're going to see, because there's only about a week left before you get to see some more action. You got to wait a week. So should be a good amount of games on today that you should be able to enjoy. So tune into that. I have to talk about the NBA. I'm not going to talk about any scores, highlights, or anything like that. The NBA, in my estimation, has hit an all-time low. An all-time low. It is despicable, distasteful, and disgraceful what they're doing with national televised games on a Saturday night, or any other night for that matter. There's no bigger basketball fan couple than my wife and I. We could sit around and watch games together. Make it date night. That's how much my wife and I love the game. When I met my wife back in 98 and started dating her in 99, I came to her house to watch the game. She knew the referees' names. I said, this is it. What more can I ask for? She knew the names of the referees. But in the last 2 Saturday nights, you had possible conference finals matchup with San Antonio and Golden State. Golden State don't play their top 4 players. Last night, although it's highly unlikely, but you have a possible finals matchup with Cleveland and the Clippers, and Cleveland doesn't play their players. In the last 2 Saturday nights, something that my wife and I would rush home to watch, maybe my daughters sit around and watch because they're into basketball. We didn't even attempt to watch a game last night or last week Saturday because of this nonsense that's going on in the NBA with players resting. This is ridiculous. It's ludicrous. Any other word that is a synonym to those words, you can use it. Something needs to be done about this. It's not only the fans that is hurt by this, but what about the networks that pay good money to show these games and then turn around to pay that good money to pay the salaries of these players that wants 51% of all revenue, basketball-related revenue, which I believe they deserve, but you don't deserve it when you don't show up to work. I would love to go to my job or call in my job and say, I'm not showing up today because I'm calling in for rest. This is ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. And something needs to be done. They're tarnishing the brand, the NBA game. They're tarnishing the legacy of the game. These guys ride around with masseuses, nutritionists. They ride around with the best relaxation equipment, best medicine. They ride around in charter planes. Meanwhile, you had guys wearing Chuck Taylors in the 60s and the 70s, riding on Greyhounds and Amtrak to go to games. And these guys is going to do this? Just utterly ridiculous. Shout out to Rodney Walker for tuning in. He agrees with me. Shout out to one of my longest friends going back to the wee early 70s. Jamel. He's talking about Villanova hurting his bracket. You ain't the only one, Jamel. You just ain't. It ain't about the chip, Ja. I get that. It ain't about the chip. Jordan and Pippen won 72 games, played every game. Through their 6-year championship run, they played every game. But what they did to get rest, they knocked teams out by the third quarter and sat in the fourth quarter. Come on, you can't even plan a game to take your son or grandson to, or your daughter or granddaughter to see their favorite player, because when they come to town, you don't even know if they're going to play. You get all suited up with the apparel on. Yeah, I'm going to the game, taking my kid or my grandkid, whatever it is that you have, niece, nephew, you mentoring somebody in the neighborhood, whatever it might be. And you get there, and you got to watch this 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th man play 48 minutes. And meanwhile, your ticket that you paid to see them is not reduced. It's not reduced. So right now, we should be requesting refunds. Even if it's league pass. Should be requesting refund. I tell you what, I'd rather the NBA put on a Philly Minnesota game on a Saturday night, because I know it's going to be some youngsters out there playing like it's an interview. And they're going to play their heart out because they're on national TV. For this game alone, it's their Super Bowl. Unbelievable. You got LeBron, who proclaims to be the greatest player on the planet. Maybe he is, maybe he's not. But have you seen anybody ever in better shape than him? And he has to sit out for rest on a Saturday night? Unbelievable. And it ain't just him, it's all of them. Bernard King, as Rodney said, on getting what? $100,000 a year? Going through the state of Texas with wrapped up fingers, dropping 50 a night? Patrick Ewing could barely walk after the game. He got ice on his knees, giving his all, played as many games as possible. Guy like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar plays 20 years, don't miss a game. This is ridiculous. If I'm the networks, I'm boycotting. Primetime Saturday night, I'm sure even the sponsors like Budweiser and them is paying extra money for this spot. And all of this is basketball-related income that goes to the players at 51%, and rightfully so they deserve, but not if you don't show up for work. Call out sick on your job and you don't have sick time that can cover your income. Guess what you got for the day? Zero. Meanwhile, these guys are getting paid $500,000 a game, $250,000 a game, and then they don't show up? Unbelievable. Just ridiculous. Yeah, divas is what they are. Divas is what they are. And you think it's going to get any better? Not when you got LeVar Ball already asking for $1 billion for 10 years for his 3 sons. 2 which is still in high school. And guess what's going to happen? He's going to get it. He's going to get it. So do you think they're going to work hard, or they're going to play every game when they already got $1 billion already in their bank account? The days of branding ball players in the NBA, or maybe all of sports, has hurt the game. Hockey. They play 82 games. They play concurrent with basketball. For those who follow, tell me if there's a DNP. Call me up. Tell me if there's a player with a DNP. And that game is much more physical than the NBA. If you don't have a broken nose or a new set of dentures in hockey, you ain't a great player. And 90% of them have that. But they out there on skates all 82 games. There's not a DNP out there. Somebody look it up and get back to me. This is ridiculous. Moving right along, I gotta hit boxing. What a fight with the unknown Thailand. I'm going to have trouble pronouncing his name. Rugose? I don't know. And Chocolatito. What a great fight. I thought Chocolatito won the fight. But I'm not upset with the decision. I do think that the blood that was trickled down from the 2 spots from the headbutts, one on top of the head, one above the eye, it just couldn't be controlled. I think it made him look worse than what it was. I mean, I'm surprised he lasted 12 rounds and they didn't go to the scorecards, because it was uncontrollable. It could not be stopped. He lost a lot of blood. He kept getting hit there, whether it was the punches that the guy was throwing or he was blocking the punches and his own glove hit him. But what a performance by both boxers. I don't know who this Thailand guy is, and I don't think Chocolatito knew who he was. But I tell you what, he knows who he is now, and we all know who he is. He may never win another fight. He could be Buster Douglas. But for last night, he fought a great fight. And I tell you what, I didn't agree with the decision, but rightfully so, he deserved the win. He did enough to win the fight. Don't get me wrong. I just thought that Chocolatito did a little bit more, and I thought that the blood that was pouring down just might have favored the Thailand guy. But nevertheless, for 12 rounds, you got action. In fact, I thought that fight was better than the main event. The main event was a good fight, but it wasn't a great fight. This one was a great fight. And I could see a rematch on this one right here. And Chocolatito, for those who don't know the sport or follow, yeah, they got him pound for pound as the best boxer in the game right now. He was pound for pound best boxer in the game. Once Mayweather stepped away, he was like 46-0 going into this fight. So, huge win by the kid out of Thailand. He may have a future ahead of him. Hopefully they can mix it up again in 6 months. I would like to see that one again. That was a great fight. And I'm going to tell you what. It may go the same way, because no matter how many shots Chocolatito hit that guy with, he couldn't hurt him. The guy was laughing and smiling every time he got hit. I mean, and he just kept coming forward. He couldn't hurt this guy. Looked like a couple of times he might have stunned him, but for the most part, he couldn't damage him. He could not damage him. But a great fight it was. To the main event, Daniel Jacobs and Triple G. This fight was very close, guys. Very close. Very close. I really think that the score was right, 115-112. I thought that Triple G won 7 rounds to 5 with the 10-8 round. That's how you get the 115-12. But it was a close fight. Daniel Jacobs got dinged in that second round and third round rather, and got dropped. It wasn't one of the greatest knockouts. In fact, it almost looked like it was a push or a trip. But he did get hit. And the reason why I know he got hit, because when the refs did the count, he didn't complain that it wasn't a trip. He knew he got knocked down. Because if it was a push or a trip, hey, he tripped me. Oh, he pushed me. No, it was none of that. He stood there and he took his time to get himself together. He did not debate it or argue. Jacobs has nothing to be ashamed of. He fought a good fight. He just fought a better fighter. Triple G, he only knows how to fight one way, and that's forward. If you don't put that jab out there consistently enough to prevent him from moving forward, it's going to be a long afternoon or a long night for you. I think Jacob tried to confuse Triple G. He didn't know whether to go southpaw or just go traditional. And to me, he wasn't sure. It looked like towards the later rounds, second half of the fight, he was just trying to confuse Triple G. Again, it don't matter how you fight Triple G. He's only going to fight one way, and that's coming forward. Coming forward, he's going to follow you. He's going to try to corner you. He doesn't care if you're left or right. He don't care if you southpaw or whatever. He's just coming forward. Daniels needed to stick that jab out there and keep him from coming forward. He did it at times, but he didn't do it enough. He was much quicker than a Triple G. He didn't use his speed enough. He really did. A few times when he flashed his speed through a couple of combinations or got out the way, went from left to right or right to left, he looked good in those moments, but he never followed through with it. It was almost, he didn't want to commit too much because he was afraid of one come back. And I can understand that. Because Triple G, he doesn't look like it, but he can turn around and fight with one punch. He's not the biggest or muscular guy that you're going to see walk in the ring. But he's a very strong dude. His hand is hard. He got a hard hand. He definitely do. He has a hard hand. But Jacob should have won this fight, guys. Hey, listen, he was at the Garden. He's from Brownsville, Brooklyn. He had the crowd there. Although there was a large contingent of Triple G fans. But Jacobs just didn't do enough. And he should have utilized that speed and kept that jab out there. It was a winnable fight for him. But Triple G, I believe the knockdown in the third round helped. And again, there was no domination from Jacobs where you can say, well, he won 2-3 rounds in a row. Or it kind of went back and forth. And I believe Triple G landed more punches, total punches in the fight. So it goes to the scorecard. And I'm old school too. If you don't batter the champion or knock the champion out, you're not getting a decision. Not when a guy walks in with four belts. You're not getting that decision. You really have to batter him or knock him out. You kind of needed to do what the Thailand guy did to Chocolatito in order to get that. Because, again, Chocolatito looked battered. And I think that's what persuaded the judges. But in this, after the fight, Triple G was looking like he was ready to take pictures. It was just nothing, no scars, no cuts, no nothing. And very little swelling. But a very entertaining fight. I'm not screaming rematch. I believe Triple G definitely won that fight. Daniel Jacobs has nothing to be ashamed of. He comes away with the L, but he comes away victorious as well. I think that everybody knows who he is. He's no longer just a guy who survived cancer, which is a good story. They call him the Golden Child, the Miracle Man. Great story. Very good boxer. This should not be the last that we see of him. But now here's what comes down to it now. As much as I like Triple G, but my guy's Canelo. And on May 5th, I think it is, no doubt in my mind that Canelo is going to beat up on Chavez Jr. But the fight is going to be Canelo and Triple G. That should be about 6 months from now. That's the fight of the year if they can squeeze it in 2017. We should be seeing that sometime around Christmas. Do they have big fights in December? That's something to think about. I don't recall too many big fights in December. But that's the fight to watch out for right there. Because Canelo in May, he's going to cruise past he's gonna cruise past Chavez Jr. Chavez is going to need his father to be in the ring and fight. This one here, I don't think Chavez Jr. is a slouch, but I just don't think he can mess with Canelo. Canelo is a very skillful boxer. He's got speed, he's got power, he's got reach, he's got size, and he's got quickness. Nah, I don't see him coming close to it. The fight is going to be Canelo and Triple G. But good night of fights last night. Good night of boxing. I'm not disappointed with the decisions. I thought it was fair, and I can't disagree with it at all. I was going with Triple G, but watching Daniel Jacobs, I wish he'd have did a little bit more because it was a winnable fight. That's all. It was a winnable fight. And what it could have did for his career, it would have been amazing because I think this was his first pay-per-view fight, and he would have just took off from there. He would have just took off from there. But you learn from it. Just like I thought that Canelo took the Floyd Mayweather fight too soon. But he learned from it. Nobody's been able to lay a glove on him since. He's just been punishing opponents. So maybe Daniel Jacobs can learn from this one, and his career can also take off as well. So good night of boxing. Enjoy the rest of the NCAA games tonight. But this NBA, I hate to rant on my soapbox here, but it's ticking me off. I have a lot of love for the game, and I like to see quality games. At this rate here, I'd rather go see CYO games, Little League basketball game, where you got some kids out there that think and hope and wishing that one day they can be invited to the green room just to have their name called, and they give us all that they got. Love that I have for the game, and some of you guys can contest with me because some of you grew up with me, and especially a guy like Jamel. I remember the days we grew up in the projects, apartment buildings. I never owned a shovel in my life until a couple of years ago. But on a snowy day, or a day that it snowed, but it got a little bit warm, we would find shovels and shovel the park, and shovel the court, I should say, and play some basketball. Maybe it's 35 degrees out, but we're out there playing basketball. And I'm not alone. That's the love we have for the game. And to watch this, all because of money, maybe branding, or as Jamel said, devos, it's just ridiculous. But anyway, I'll get back at you guys soon. I appreciate you all tuning in. Shout out to my cousin Dawn for viewing. Shout out to Rodney, Jamel. Appreciate y'all chopping it up with me. And I'll see you guys in 24. Peace and blessings. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. God bless.